Hello, everyone, and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be working on something that I've mentioned a couple times in videos, and I've had several people ask me, what is it? So I'm just going to show you what it is. I have mentioned my grandmother teaching me how to do chicken scratch. Chicken scratch is a form of hand embroidery. So let me show you what we are going to use. You need a hoop. Normally this hand embroidery is done in the wood one, but I use the plastic and metal one. I don't know that there's a difference. They're all hoops. That's all you need. You need some embroidery floss. I have some spare here from a project I did at Christmas time when Fat Quarter Shop did their quilt and cross stitch along. I have some of that. I've just never put it back in my box. So I have that. This is tapestry. Well, these are actually cross stitch needles. The best needles to use is tapestry needles. Probably, I think they said 8 or 9. I just use whatever I have. And last but not least, your fabric. I have some gingham fabric here. It is, just a small piece. So what I am going to do is put this in my hoop, and then I'll bring you behind me and show you down right on what I'm doing. Now, of course, my fabric is bigger than my hoop. It shouldn't be. Your fabric should cover your hoop completely. How I put my fabric on my hoop, I put my plastic ring down. I put this face down on my hoop. And then this is a spring type, so I just squeeze this in, put it down on my fabric. I want my fabric coming out of the sides, not the top and bottom, so I'm just repositioning that. Now that I have this in my hoop, I have this extra out. I'm just going to get my rotary cutter and just cut that off, because this is just a test piece, so nothing major. So we can get this back out of the way, back in my fabric. This came in a scrap bag that I got probably from Sweet Daisy Quilt Shop, I think is where it's from. But here I have my fabric in here. I'm going to bring you guys around, and I'm going to show you all the different stitches, because it does use several different types of stitches to do this. And guys, I'm going to tell you, this is judgment-free zone. My cutting mat is a little dirty right now, but that's not what we're going to be worried about today. So one moment, and I'll have you flip down. So here you can see my fabric, and I'm just going to do, let's start in, your fabric actually needs to be straight, so this one here is not. But what you do is you go in right there at the a dark square. Now, I have not tied my thread yet. I don't know if I've got all 6 strands on this or not. It's according to how big your squares are as to how many you want to use, how many strands. I'm trying to make sure you can see this. But you'll go in the bottom left, go down the top right. Now this here is called a double cross stitch. I'm just pulling down that side. Now we will do several of these. And I know it doesn't look even because I'm having to sew this from the side. But you come up. Now see, this can happen here. This is one of the reasons why you would wax your thread before doing this. But you will have a double cross stitch here. And just make sure it stays flat. And then to make it the double, you come up between the 2 bottom legs. This is almost just like cross stitching. And this is a nature of the beast. If you use as long a thread as I did, you shouldn't really use one as long as I did. I just pulled off what was on my thing. And then the next step, you're going to come to the left in the middle between the two. Get that where you can see it. You'll come in the left between the two sides there. You'll come up there, and then you'll go down on the right side. Now, you notice how my fabric is getting really loose? Well, that's because it's not in here right. Okay, so you see you have that one there. And then we're going to go over to the next square. It's the dark squares that you do this to. I'm hoping I'm keeping this turned where you can see it, the light. And we will just go up that right bottom. Go down the top left. I always go from bottom to top. Now that one doesn't look like I got straight in that corner. Try to get in your corner as best you possibly can, and I'm doing it wrong here. No, I'm doing it right. I just turned my fabric so it looks like it's wrong. Because the last stitch I'm going to make is from left to right in the center. Now, if we continue to do this, we will have a line of double cross stitches. I am only going to do 3 for you. Just so you can see, because you can really see the pattern of what my grandmother taught us growing up if you do, you know, more than 2. Bottom center, top center. Now this is going to be like your very basic chicken scratch stitches. Okay, so here are our 3 double cross stitches. Now the next thing we are going to do is called running stitches. I've got to get my thread here so you can see this. A running stitch is going to be done in the lighter blocks. Now we're going to do this around this one right here, and we're going to say this right here is going to be the bottom of our design. So a running stitch, you will go side to side. On each of the lighter ones. And I'm going side to side on these. And I will do some up and down running stitches too. And I'm just going the center of that lighter color block. Now I'm going to do a run. I could have come from this last block and done a running stitch here, but now I'm doing that right here. Make sure to get on that edge of your fabric here. I notice my fabric is getting loose again. Okay, so I'm doing an up and down stitch here, and then I'm just coming over and I'm starting it from the bottom and going to the top. And you'll see why here in a second. Now once I'm finished with this one, I will come right here at the top. Okay, Okay, and I'm going to do that for the two light colored squares right there. Now, I'm going to try to hold that where you can see that there where I'm doing it. Okay, you see those? Now, I'm going to have to get the light where you can really see this. Okay, now these are our double cross stitches. These are our running stitches. Now, what we are going to do is a woven circle stitch. To do that, we find where we just came in at. We're going to come in at the bottom. We're coming back in right here at the bottom. And we're just going to run. Now, I'm going to turn this upside down so it's easier for me. We're going to run the needle through each of our running stitches. And we're going to end up where we started off. Now, you could do more than that one to make it thicker if you want to. Let me show you here. I know my hand is in the way, but I am right-handed and I got you guys over the right hand of me. So, we've got our woven circle. We are going to come right back over this one here and go right back in. We're going right back in there. Okay, we will come up right here at that running stitch. And we will go through all of the stitches here as well. And we'll go in and do that 2 times since we did the other one 2 times, so you can see the thickness here. I realize I'm getting off screen with you guys, and I'm so sorry. But now that we get this one done, we come right back in there, and that completes that. Now, the next thing we would do is do another double stitch right here. A double cross stitch in each of these darker squares on the gingham. And this would make for a really cute little border on a little dress, a hand towel, anything like that. So guys, I'm not going to complete this all the way because I'm doing this over to the side and it is stretching my shoulder out. But you see that is the idea of chicken scratch. It's fairly quick handwork. It gives a big statement to a plain piece of fabric. So friends, that is a very quick tutorial on how to do the chicken scratch. I hope you have enjoyed this. I see I got myself a little off kilter here, but this is what chicken scratch is. You can find a whole lot more patterns for chicken scratch online. I did see some really cute ones that I am probably going to try out. It's just a matter of finding the gingham with the big squares in it. I really like the big squared gingham. It works better for this. And y'all will see just how detailed you really can get with chicken scratch. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. I like to try out different crafts. I sew, quilt, cook, garden, all of the things. But you'll mainly see quilting and sewing here and trying out different crafts. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. I did forget to say that once I have this completed, if I do it on a dress or a hand towel or something like that, I will put some Tender Touch on it. And that's like an interfacing that you iron on the back of needlework. It will hold all of that in. It's like an adhesive, so it will stay there. So guys, thank you again. Bye guys.